Hey guys, welcome to a wet and miserable Friday on the Gold Coast. We're going to get the Friday wrap done, and this one's really cool. This one, I've got a client that sent in a question last week after last week's Friday wrap, said blah, 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 blah. So I thought, you know what? Let's answer it this week. This week, we are answering the question from Aaron and Katie. Now, you may see sometimes when I go and talk about the general advice warning, and I said last week, this one really annoys me, but you want to know what else annoys me is the idea of going to jail if I don't do it, blah, 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 blah. But this is a perfect case in point because there's so many things that I talk about where you might go, okay, that means that, and that means that, and I can do this, and we'll go and do that. And it's not actually allowed. And this is kind of an example about that. So I want to go through it step by step, go through the question, go through the potential, the pros and cons, what you can do, what you can't do, and possibly what you actually should do in this scenario. But it does lead me to the general advice warning. So this week I'm going to take it seriously. I love the fact that you're taking on board what I'm saying, but if you're going to go and action it, make sure you talk to us first. We'll advise you what's appropriate. In this instance, there's a situation where the idea we chatted about can't actually be done, and it kind of killed the whole thing, right? So please give us a call before you do anything so we can advise you appropriately and make sure you're acting in your own best interest. The question from Aaron and Katie: can we deposit money into a super fund for our newborn nephew, which he can access in the future for a house deposit? When I rang him and talked to him about it, we talked about the idea of the government co-contribution as well. So if Aaron and Katie put $1,000 a year in for their nephew and it gets added to by the government and they're $500, like, wow, we're getting 50% return for nothing. So this is the chat that we had. So Aaron's pulled a few different things together. We can pull money out of super for the house deposit, for the first homeowner super scheme. We can utilize the tax efficiencies of the super environment where it only gets taxed at 15%. We can utilize the co-contribution where we're going to get $500 for our $1,000. So really big bang for our buck. This all just makes sense, right? Let's have a look at it. We'll go right back to the beginning. Can a super account be opened for a baby? The answer is yes. Okay, but not every fund will allow it. The governing rules of the fund will determine whether they'll allow you to open a superannuation account for a minor, somebody under the age of 18. So if you're going to do that, we need to find out which fund is going to let you set up a super fund for the child. Additionally, the applicants must be signed by the parents, the application must be signed by the parent or the legal guardian of that child. Once opened, who can contribute into the account? Anyone can. So yes, Aaron and Katie, you would be able to contribute into that fund on behalf of your child. How much can be contributed? Same laws as super for you and me and everybody else over the age of 18. The normal caps. Up to $110,000 a year can be contributed into that baby's name. Lucky nephew, mate, if that's what you're going to be doing. Are you allowed to pull money out of super to use as a house deposit? Yes, but there are rules. The first home super saver scheme was introduced, allowing you to save for a house deposit by contributing to super. The important rules: only voluntary, so not employer contributions, can be withdrawn. A maximum of $50,000 can be withdrawn, and only $15,000 in any year can be contributed. Let me read that again. Only $15,000 from any single year's contributions can be withdrawn. Okay. Now the downside here is the only contributions a person themselves make can be withdrawn. So if Aaron was contributing for his nephew, kind of goes bum bum, and that's not able to be done. So there's the downside. So initially we had a good idea of, hey, let's contribute money to super. It's going to grow in this concessionally taxed environment, but now we've hit a roadblock, and that's the first of the two roadblocks. The second one, where Aaron had the idea, because the co-contribution, if you earn less than so much money, you'll get $500 for your $1,000. The government will contribute up to $500,000 into super for a low income earner who puts $1,000 of after-tax money. Aaron was going to put after-tax money in. The income less than $42,000, or a taxable income less than $42,000, will entitle you to the full $500. An important eligibility rule is the person needs to earn at least 10% of their income, so they need to be earning money to be able to make that contribution to super. So the baby's not going to be earning any income, not being able to be entitled to the co-contribution as well. So What should they do? Remember I talked a couple of weeks ago about my idea for the $2 millionaire? Something similar to that. Open up the investment account themselves and make contributions into it themselves. In the future, transfer the ownership to the child. It's going to come at the cost of a capital gains tax event. So if you've made a gain, hopefully you have in 18 or 21 years or however long it is, then you're going to have tax to pay when you transfer that money to that child. And then we talk about the tax consequences of things. Is it in Aaron's name? Is it in Katie's name? Maybe the nephew, their mum or dad may not be working for the next however long. So maybe you put it in their parents' name and put it. There's so many things to consider here. But as you can see, one, thank you for the question. I love the fact that I'm getting questions from people and we can go away and do the research and ask the question. But as you can see, there's a number of different things where you could go, okay, I'm starting to make sense of all this stuff Jace is talking about. Co-contribution, I'll put $1,000 in, I'll get $500 back. First homeowner, super saver, superannuation is a concessionally taxed environment. This is all just making sense. But the three of them don't mix well together in this example. Now, guys, I'm just going through this and I'm thinking, I haven't even come up with a question that I'm going to come up with a question for. So I want you to send me an email and tell me who your favorite financial advisor is, okay? I hope it's me. And if you do that, we go into the draw for the $100. I didn't think of a question before I did it. Silly me, too excited to get into this one. So who's your favorite financial advisor? Everybody who gets their answer into me by 5 p.m. on Sunday goes into the draw it randomly on Monday. Hopefully you win the $100. All right, guys, happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.